Hello everyone and welcome to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It is a FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour stop, and this is the second men's semifinal. We have the Canadian team of Saxton and O'Gorman going up against the Italian duo of Ranghieri and Caminati. Hello everyone, my name is Grayson Knutson. Pleased to be joined by Everett Delorme here in the broadcast booth. We talked a little bit about this matchup at the end of the previous semifinal, won by the Swiss pair of Bieler and Kradiger. But what are you expecting between these two squads here as they go head to head?
You know what, I'm expecting a good match. This is two strong teams. They've both got very good net presences. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Ranghieri, one of the top blockers in the world, but Ben Saxton, no slouch himself. He's definitely known to get a few slams once or twice. Grant O'Gorman, he's the workhorse in the back row. He's going to be making some good digs. You're going to be seeing him serving tough. He's going to get the bulk of the serves as well, so he's going to be doing the most of siding out. And it's really going to come down to, in my opinion, it's going to come down to how well Marco Caminati can withstand the pressure against this home team and execute on the side out.
See the weather conditions on your screen there. Finally a decent day in Edmonton. We haven't had many here this summer. 23 degrees Celsius is what it feels like. The sand a degree warmer at 24. Little bit of a breeze, and it's blowing almost cross court on an angle. Right now the Canadians are standing on this side, and it will be blowing at their backs, basically corner to corner.
As I introduce here Ben Saxton, as we mentioned earlier in the last game, he is the veteran 5 times. He's representing Canada at the World Championships, 30 years old from Calgary, and his partner, the 25-year-old from Scarborough, Grant O'Gorman. He's been a guy for a long time. He's got 3 FIVB junior and youth world medals, world championship medals. And you know what? He's been a bit of a journeyman here on the national team, but at every step of the way, he's always taken a step up.
It's a very exciting homecoming for Ben Saxton. Read a couple of articles in the local paper, and I know he's just so thrilled to be playing such a big World Tour event in his home province. I know he'd probably prefer it to be down south, but hey, he'll take Edmonton. We are underway. First serve. It's going to be the Canadians with the opportunity to attack, and it's off the hands there and put down by Saxton for the opening point of the match.
You know, Grant is the type of player, he's a small guy, but he loves to play big. He loves to swing hard cross court especially, but he knows playing against Ranghieri, you're going to have to go and play high off the hands. And you're also going to have to move around and serve receive as he goes for the low seam serve there and handcuffs Ranghieri early. 2-0 Canada. So
O'Gorman off to a really good start for the Canadian duo here. That one is just a well-placed shot by the Italians, and they pick up a point. They are on the board now. Serving is Caminati. How does the veteran leadership of a Ranghieri kind of translate to a player like Caminati, Everett?
You know, he's got to stay patient with him. He's got to let him know that, hey, I'm here to support you. If you make a mistake, it doesn't matter all that much. But you got to make sure that your partner knows you support him. And so far, we haven't seen the greatest support, let's say, from the Italian pair.
There's another big kill by O'Gorman. Canada up 3-1. Saxton serving. Little readjustment there. Poked over, well dug up by O'Gorman. He's going to have a chance to attack on his own. It danced along the line, but did not drop in, so it's a point for the Italians.
Just outside there, and we're seeing that lack of communication there from Caminati and Ranghieri in that transition set. Ranghieri's coming in quick, and he has to pause a little bit as we see that ball how it just fell outside of the court. But this is something that obviously Ben and Grant are going to have to be aware of and, you know, try to cause a little bit more of a rift between the pair.
O'Gorman, another big smash there. So 4 points, and he's been big in all of them as he goes back to the service line now.
Yeah, good cross-court swing there by Grant. Catching that sideline nicely.
Caminati goes up, tries to play the line, but slices it wide. Maybe the big hands of Saxton altered that one a little bit.
You know, we talked a little bit on the onset about Ranghieri being able to handle the pressure and side out, and just there is a perfect example, just not getting the job done.
Team switch sides every 7 points, 5-2 the score, and O'Gorman, another ace as Ranghieri just unable to get down low enough to dig that one back up.
No, and that's some good video work there by Saxton O'Gorman and their head coach Christian Redmond, as they've obviously identified that serving Ranghieri short to the seam is a difficulty for his. He hasn't passed those ones well. That's 2 aces already early on in this first set, and you're gonna hopefully see the Italians make that adjustment, maybe move their serve receive up a little bit when O'Gorman's back there serving, but otherwise they've got to figure something out, or else they're going to be falling in this one quickly, as they're already down by 4.
And they are taking a break here, the Italian pair calling a timeout to kind of regroup. They'll chat things over. The volunteers here come out and they do such a good job making sure the playing surface is nice and level, and we saw it in the last match how important it is to make sure that the sand around the tape is nice and flat too, as the officials are able to use that as a reference point for balls that could be in or out.
And, you know, our volunteer team here in Edmonton, got to give them a shout out, as they've been doing a fantastic job all week. Luckily, we've given them a bit of a break from the rain. You know what? Because those guys, it's one thing to be an athlete and play in the rain, you know, because you can kind of like, it kind of makes you feel like a warrior. But when you're a volunteer or a referee, there's no hiding it. It sucks.
There's a lot of standing around just being wet for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
O'Gorman on the run there, pass that one over, and Saxton plays it second time.
Oh, looks like they were going on 2 there, as Marco put that one over to Ranghieri, but he dishes it quickly to the outside. A lot of separation there, and Ben Saxton had to dump that one over on 2 because he got a touch on the block, but we see Ranghieri dishing that from one side of the net all the way to the other, creates a separation, and Caminati is able to put that one away.
Now Caminati serving. O'Gorman blocked, but he was able to recover nicely to dig it up. That one's tight. Joust 1. That one's played off the net. O'Gorman going deep, but Ranghieri is there. Now he's going to have an opportunity to swing, but set was a little off, so he just played it safe. Saxton off hands. It's going to drop. Our first real long rally of the match goes Canada's way. Big point for the team in red.
And you know what? It looks like in those first few swings there, as we see Ben Saxton go across the court there on the cross body on the replay, that Grant O'Gorman is getting blocked, but actually what he's doing is he's recycling it. He's realizing that Ranghieri's block is real big as he pounds that one down the line, and he's purposely putting it off the block and back onto their court so that they can get another swing at the ball.
Another look at that last kill from Ranghieri, and that's a lot of power.
Yeah, Ben Saxton getting there late on the transition play and unable to close that line like he would have wanted to, as Ranghieri puts that one wide, going corner to corner.
It was quite a bit out from the Italian. So it's a freebie for Canada, who lead 8-4. O'Gorman serve. Caminati, it's through the hands of Saxton, who just popped it up for O'Gorman, tried to play it, but out of bounds.
Yeah, hits that ball real flat, no spin on it, not really directing it towards the corner, catches his hand and floats out of bounds. Good block there in recovery by Saxton, but O'Gorman unable to get an approach on that one.
See how O'Gorman does this time.
Oh,
that's a great dig and some fantastic hustle by the Italians there. O'Gorman tries to go power that time. One-arm dig by Caminati. O'Gorman again, slice something off. Oh, Caminati again, and he's going to go with the attack, but maybe just a little bit too excited and anxious there to finally win that point, and he goes wide with it.
You know, that's exactly it. Too excited, too anxious, as he makes 3 great digs plays. As we see this one as he chases the ball down on the 2-ball, gets it over, and then again with the one-arm dig afterwards. Unable, though, to convert as he blows that one well wide.
Gotta love the heart and the hustle, though, from Caminati. Tips that one over in a good spot. Canadians rooted in place.
Yeah, the line over there by Caminati. Grant O'Gorman takes one look at it, and he goes, nope, I'm not going to chase that one. That's, as we see here on the replay, nope. There we go.
You know, you've played, multiple matches in a day. Just save a little bit of energy and might need a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in that one, he was looking for that cross-body shot. He was a little shallow inside of the court. If he was playing a little bit deeper, he'd be able to track that one down, but pretty difficult to traffic when it's already past you and you're, going after the ball instead of being already behind it.
Ranghieri serving again after an absolute blistering ace. Puts that one A little bit long that time, couldn't find the line twice in a row.
You know what? When you've just aced a guy, you got to just put it back on him. Keep that pressure on. Even if you're serving at 75%, a 75% serve is going to cause way more stress than a 0% serve going out.
Canada up 10-7 here. O'Gorman just gets that one over. Big block by Saxton. Puts the wall up, nowhere to go for Caminati.
Big Ben was there, and he was waiting as we see this one on the replay. Tight set by Caminati. And Saxton sees that one early. He's up, he's waiting, and for those young kids watching, if you watch that on the replay, he's not waiting to try to slam block. His hands are just waiting, creating that wall, and Ranghieri has no choice but to swing in them. Oh my goodness.
He does it again.
Ben Saxton.
He is fired up right now, and you can hear the bells, the Big Ben tolling in the background here in Edmonton after back-to-back gigantic blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's different, a little bit different that one. He was patient, saw that it was coming to the cross, dove into the cross court, and slams Caminati on that one.
That time Caminati goes off the side of Saxton's hands, goes out of bounds, so Italy finally breaks that run. 12-8, Canada in front here. Another look at it, just going down the line, and Saxton didn't quite close.
Tough one there for Ben. Just missing it on the press on Caminati.
Here's Marco Caminati serving right into the seam, and it dipped right at the last second there, and O'Gorman has it go off him. It's an ace, and we have reached 13 technical timeout here.
It's a lucky technical timeout there for O'Gorman Saxton, because you really don't want to let Italy get into the momentum. You really don't want to let them get going with their game. So they just had a good side out there by Caminati. He follows that up with an ace. So you know what? If O'Gorman, if it wasn't for a technical timeout, they'd probably be calling one themselves. So luckily they don't have to waste one. Just go back and regroup and be like, hey guys, all we got to do is side out nicely and play our game. They've been controlling it so far, and Ranghieri and Caminati are going to have to do something a little bit different to be able to try to go on a bit of a run here. We haven't seen a big run from them yet in this match, and that's what it's going to need here to force a third set for them.
We'll see if they can carry the little bit of momentum they were starting to build over into this portion of the match as we come out of the technical timeout. The two teams will swap sides once again. It'll be Marco Caminati serving. Nice little crowd here in Edmonton as well. Attendance has been fairly decent, particularly when Canada is playing. Obviously, lots of support for the Canadian duos. O'Gorman, one-handed dig, and it's going to be off the net. Well played by Ranghieri there to keep it alive. Saxton's going to have a swing. Oh. Nice adjustment midair by Saxton to fool Ranghieri there.
You know what, Saxton, such good vision there. He's the veteran. He sees Ranghieri sitting in the cross. He sees Caminati sitting in the cross. And just last minute goes thumb up, directs that ball down the line with the chipper, falls into the court.
Caminati blocked by Saxton again. 3 blocks for Ben Saxton here in this first set. And Canada is up 14-9. Now Saxton will serve. That time Caminati, nice little poke, readjustment in the air. Goes the other way around the hands.
Italy's got to find something here to keep this one going. Got to find some way to put pressure on Grant and Ben, as they have yet to be able to.
Alex Ranghieri serves and races to the net. Nice swing from O'Gorman, and Caminati was there, but that thing had a ton of heat on it, and it bounces well out of bounds.
You know what, somebody should be checking Ranghieri's chest for dents, maybe some fractures in the rib cage as he takes that one off the chest from Grant O'Gorman.
Caminati, and it's blocked again by Saxton. That's 4 in the set. I think we can officially call this a block party right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Saxton feeding off of that home crowd support. And just doing a really good job. Up there early, hands over the net. Not trying to swat it. Just creates that wall. 16-10 here.
Another opportunity for Caminati against Saxton, and once again, Big Ben comes up large.
The Italians not entirely sure what to do there. Ranghieri setting that one tight once again and trying to go over top, but not doing it convincingly was Marco Caminati.
Well, he's going up again. We'll see what he does this time. Goes through the hands. O'Gorman's there to dig it up. He readjusts and hammers one that Caminati can't handle, and it's into the crowd here.
You know what? I can't hear because of the headsets we got on, but I could swear that there was a hammer it, Kits Beach style, right before Grant crushed that one, because this is what we see from Grant O'Gorman. This is a dangerous Grant O'Gorman to have in front of you. When he's full of confidence, he's unstoppable. He's one of the best in the world. He has so many shots at his disposal, and he's a strong guy, so he can pound on that ball from pretty much anywhere.
There's O'Gorman again, and a lovely little tip over on two there from Saxton.
Yeah, on two there. Good dig there from Grant O'Gorman. You're starting to see, you know, he's giving that cross-court shot open for Caminati to hit, because obviously Caminati's not swinging anywhere near Ben Saxton right about now. Is case in point. Caminati's like, hey, I don't want to hit anymore. Ranghieri, here you go, and Ben Saxton shuts the door anyways. Oh my goodness, Big Ben is tolling tonight.
He wasn't fooled at all by Ranghieri taking that second ball. It's 20-10. Set point. The fans are on their feet here at Northlands in Edmonton.
Great job so far by Saxton O'Gorman to just keep that pressure on, and one of their best sets so far of the tournament coming in the semifinals.
Saxton did get a piece of that one, but it's going to fall into an unoccupied corner, and Italy stays alive for now.
Yeah, we hear the go, go, go call there by Ben Saxton as he gets a touch on it. Oh no, I don't think he actually got a touch on it. Just went over top, and once again, Grant O'Gorman a little bit shallow as Caminati's been trying to go for that cross-court shot instead of trying to go over top, and unable to get there is Grant O'Gorman as he puts that one down the line, and Canada takes the first set, 21-11.
That'll make you feel real good if you're O'Gorman and Saxton. What an opening set here from the Canadians as they win it 21-11. Everett, a lot to like about what Canada was doing, but if you're the Italian duo, what are you discussing right now as you sit down getting ready for set number two?
You know what, if I was the Italian duo, I was just finding a way to support my partner better on either side, because both with Ranghieri and Caminati, they're both making mistakes. You know, Caminati's getting shut down at the net, Ranghieri's getting aced from the baseline, so they've got to figure something out. And you're noticing in between sets, they're not meeting up, they're not chatting, they got a quick hand tap, and that's about it. So just very little support from those two partners. So if they're going to want to bounce back here and really start pushing against this Canadian pair, they're really going to have to try to do something special. They got to go on some kind of run. They got to build some type of momentum, and there's just been no momentum built whatsoever throughout that first set.
I think the first few points of this set are going to be very telling of what happens here in set number two. As the Canadians, as you would expect, they're already ready to go. They're back on the court. They want to keep things rolling. The Italians taking an extra second or two to kind of gather their thoughts before heading out. Of course, Ranghieri, a veteran move too. Slow the game down a little bit. Don't let momentum get too out of hand on the Canadian side, as he's going to be the one to serve is Alex Ranghieri. And set number two is now underway. A service error, though. And that's not the way you want to start if you're the Italian duo. No,
absolutely. We talked about it in the last match about how indicative those first few points of the second set are. And you know what? After losing 21-11, you don't want to start the second set by putting the ball into the net. Once again, the wind is kind of coming and going as Ben Saxton tolled the bell.
This is fun to watch right now.
You know what? If you're Grant O'Gorman, you understand why he's not chasing down those line overs, because he's almost just, you know, he's a spectator at this point watching the magic that his partner's putting on.
Fortunately for O'Gorman, he makes a service error there, so the Italians are on the board. 2-1 the score here for Canada very early on in set number two. Of course, the winner is off to tomorrow's final against Bieler and Kratiger from Switzerland. Well played off the net there by Saxton, but unfortunately for O'Gorman, there's not a lot of room to operate when it's so tight and you have the giant frame of Alex Ranghieri staring you in the face.
Yeah, his hands were all over that ball, and you see Grant O'Gorman trying to go for the wipe, trying to wipe it off the hands through and out of bounds, but Ranghieri is just too strong.
That serve from Caminati floats long, so unfortunately for Italy, they'll win a point, and their serve is letting them down at the moment.
Yeah, and that's, that's that mentality of the game. When your partner makes a play like that, gets a big block, that's how you're going to develop momentum. But if you go back there and serve that ball out right away, and you're not even forcing a rally, it's really hard to build that momentum as, Grant O'Gorman.
Down low, up high. Digs it up and puts it away.
Makes the dig on the chip shot, and then the Statue of Liberty pokey over the net as we see here. Just out of the reach of Alex Ranghieri, and he's looking over into his partner who's way over on the other side of the court being, bro, where are you at? But they're already taking a timeout here, down by 2 in the second.
Interesting maneuver here from the Italians. I think they just want to stem things from getting out of control like they did in the first set, so maybe call it earlier and we'll see if they can turn things around quickly. Of course, they're going to have a side switch here in the next point.
Yep.
So they'll get a couple of opportunities to slow things down.
We see over at the Italian bench is conversations going on between Caminati and Ranghieri as they're discussing their strategy. Seems to me like they're maybe not necessarily on the same page of what they're trying to do.
Still have a little bit of time to figure it out, sorry Everett, before things get too dire of a situation when it gets later in the set, but earlier to figure things out is obviously better for the Italians.
Yeah, absolutely. Beach volleyball is a game that can really get out of hand quickly. You're only playing to 21, and it can be really surprising how you look up and the other team's leading 18-13. You're like, crap, where did that set go?
Now the head official here is having a discussion with Ranghieri.
Just taking a little bit too long to get back to court. No yellow card time delay warning yet.
Just a stern word from the official. Cross court, O'Gorman in the perfect spot. Unfortunately, Saxton's set wasn't the best, but Ranghieri couldn't take advantage. And then if you're not going to go up against Ben Saxton, he's just going to hammer it down on you, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, just not great. And this is how you can see how not on the same page Italy is Ranghieri just did like free ball situation, and Ranghieri just dumps it over, bails out Ben Saxton, and Ben Saxton's not going to make that mistake twice as he puts that one down.
Caminati over top of Saxton that time. That's a smart play from the Italian, finding that far corner where no one is.
Ranghieri's sitting there. Hey, that's a good shot. That's what we want. Set was a little bit further off the net, giving Caminati a little bit more room to go thumb down and up and over the block.
Saxton took that second time, but Ranghieri read it. O'Gorman, big swing, and it's dug up by Caminati. Unfortunately, Ranghieri put the second ball over the net, and they called that a party ball, and Saxton just took full advantage.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's those transition plays that you have to execute on. Your partner's going to make a big dig like that. You got to put him high off the net. Just trying to force it a little too much was Ranghieri, as Grant O'Gorman inches away from chasing that one down.
Ranghieri, a smart play there with the pokey as Caminati was down and, well, I don't want to say out, but he took a little bit of time to get up, so Ranghieri just put the ball over and said, we'll go on 2, thank you very much. O'Gorman, sharp cross court, off the net, dig, and unfortunately Caminati puts his attack off the top of the tape and it bounces back on his side.
And once again, so difficult for this Italian team to build any momentum, and Caminati, great dig there, keeps it alive by putting it into the net, and then ends the rally by putting it into the net. So looking for Ranghieri to make the cover play there, but that one was clearly into the tape. Ben Saxton didn't block that one, and we know that because the bell didn't toll.
Saxton's serve went into the net as well. It was tantalizingly close to just rolling over, but stayed on the Canadian side, and the serve is back with the Italians. Here's Ranghieri. Little floater to O'Gorman. It was just a dunk block there from Ranghieri. Not a lot of pace on that one from O'Gorman. It was pretty easy to put down for the tall Italian player.
Yeah, that's a shot that Grant knows he can't get away with against a blocker like Alex Ranghieri, so you know that he's not going to be doing that again. It's good cover there by Ben Saxton. Ball goes the opposite way as he goes on two.
Why not? Ranghieri was the server. It takes him a little bit of time to get up to the net. Saxton takes full advantage as he just hammers it home.
Yeah, you know what? And Italy does a good job there at closing that gap. They were down 6-2 with a 4-point spread, and they have come all the way back here. And now trail only by 2.
And they get the first attack here. Caminati. That one's going to go long, and you almost got to play that one, Everett.
You always want those game ball touches when you're watching on the side, when you're, commentating the game. A game ball touch is good luck for your team.
There you go. So the Italians now within 1 here. O'Gorman goes up. Didn't win the joust. That time he got it by Ranghieri, and Caminati can't handle that. Lots of heat on that one from O'Gorman.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, and Grant O'Gorman's so good. The recycle off the block, as you see there, pushes it right against Ranghieri's block, and he's immediately going under to try to pull that one up and smashes it cross court at Caminati.
Caminati off the hands that time, wipes it out of bounds. Ever, there's something that seems so counterintuitive though, to hit it off the block knowing that it will come back to you and you have another chance. So it's something that, it takes a lot of thinking as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what, volleyball, I've called it before, it's athletic chess. In any situation, you're only going to have so many opportunities, and there's a percentage of success based on all of those opportunities. So if your percent of success to score in that moment is small, then you have to find ways to keep that rally going. And the best way to keep the rally going is keeping the ball on your own side so you have control over it. So if you're in that situation, it's best just to wipe it off the block and take another swing at it.
O'Gorman, speaking of swinging, he went after that one. That's 2 straight points for the Canadians following an Italian service error as well.
Great swing there by Grant O'Gorman, and he has the fist pump to the crowd as he comes back.
It is 11-8 for the Canadian duo. Caminati up, cross court. Gorman again. He's just been in the right spot all day, and he puts that one. Oh, but it's just long.
Just long. And you know what? That's based off of, we talked about in the last game, playing straight up. And playing straight up means that your blocker's going to block line and your defender's going to play cross. And that's what they've been doing. They haven't really been seeing anything too much from Caminati to really kill them to go over the top. And so he's just going to stand in that cross court and make digs like that. And that one, why need 3 touches when you can only use 1?
Just punch it back over nicely. And you can tell the Italians just watched it. They just kind of softly fall to the sand, and they're like, well, okay, we just weren't in the right spot after our attacking move. Yeah.
Taco, deep corner. Not even deep corner. He puts that one right in the middle. And Grant O'Gorman just putting that one away on 1. You can tell that he's been living in Vancouver and spending some time in Kits Beach, because that's a Kits classic right there.
So it's 13-8. We are at the technical timeout here in set number 2. It's a pretty similar story, actually, to set number 1. It was about this score when the technical was called in that first set. Italy, once again, you've said it a couple times, Everett, they're just not quite on the same page here in this match, despite, some success earlier on in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've been going strong. After losing their first one to Breer and Metral of Switzerland, they have run the table since then. They took down Brazilian legend Harley and Luciano in their second pool play match. That was the pair that won the Vancouver Open last weekend, and just kind of went on a run since then, but really not able to find that chemistry so far in this match, and that's one of the reasons why we see the Canadians holding a 5-point lead.
Ready to go after that technical timeout, and here is Grant O'Gorman. Caminati took a look, blocked by Saxton. He'll get another chance here. One-handed dig by O'Gorman, gets up quickly to attack. He finds the back corner. Grant O'Gorman, well placed.
And you can see Caminati when O'Gorman's about to swing, he's digging into that cross court. He's getting ready for that cross court swing, and we see just that second of hesitation, and is enough for Grant to open that thumb up, direct it down the line, and freeze the defenders.
That's a real good swing from Caminati, finding that far corner going cross court.
Interesting reaction there from Caminati. He gets a big swing there, from the cross court as we see Megan and Nicole McNamara as the twins on screen. The two-time defending NCAA beach volleyball champions and MVPs of the UCLA Bruins, who just participated in their first World Championships, as Caminati stringing together a couple of points here as he gets the ace off of Ben Saxton.
You say he looks pretty reserved, though, coming off that big swing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when he came off that big swing, he was shaking his head, almost seeming disappointed. I'm not entirely sure what Ranghieri said to him. It was in Italian. I don't speak Italian. So, you know what? I guess we'll never know. But Caminati seems to have come on fire here a little bit, unable to make that one. And you know what? I personally, I think that's a ball he can dig. He's right there, and he's just kind of letting it fall instead of making that final push for it as we see it. And, yeah, you know, not really sprawling out, not trying to swipe at it, just letting it fall in front of him.
That was a real nice readjustment, though, from Caminati, and scrambly play from the Canadians to get it back over. Little touch there, popped up. Saxton kept it alive.
Oh, Alex Ranghieri.
Spin on that one. Oh, that was clever from Ranghieri.
Man, that is a skill play. The one-handed, the left-handed scoop on the dig, gets that ball back, and you'll see it here. Oh, might have been on the net there was Saxton, but ooh, just the over-the-shoulder chop, and Saxton, who's peeling off the net, all of his momentum's backward, and he's not going to be able to dig that one.
That was a real nice play. 15-11 the score. The Italians still with some work to do, though, here in set number 2.
Absolutely, still trailing by 4, so Ranghieri is going to have to do some damage right here and puts in a good serve. Let's see if they can play defense.
That one clipped the top of the tape and landed out of bounds. So that's one back. They still need a couple more here. Ranghieri moving a little bit more centrally this time to change the angle of the serve. O'Gorman, nice little poke over top, and Caminati's not going to be able to get there. It was perfectly placed.
Yeah, absolutely, and O'Gorman just perfectly on that one. Once again, he's winding up, looking like he's going to swing cross court, and just at the last moment, heads the pokey right on the line. Can't get any closer than that one, and good side out there from Grant O'Gorman. Canadians are in control and feeling it right now.
Big cloud comes over, and O'Gorman hands off the shades before he serves. Good read by O'Gorman to change sides there. Now he's going to have a swing, and he puts it away on the line. Grant O'Gorman.
And you can tell here that Grant does such a good job there. First of all, tracking that ball down the line. And we're going to see here as Ranghieri's going to jump into the cross where Caminati's already sitting. And you're leaving a good 4 meters, half the court open for Grant O'Gorman, and he is not going to make a mistake on a play like that.
That pass a little bit too close to the net. And it's going to be another point for Team Canada here.
Calling a double there on Ranghieri as Ben Saxton does not touch that. He blocks that one into the net and plays it up again. It's a 5-point lead, or sorry, 6-point lead continues here for the Canadians, up 18-12.
Caminati, O'Gorman there once again. That was tight to the net, and real sharp angle, but a wonderful dig from Caminati. And then he kind of, I'm not even sure how he hit that one to get it underneath and over. It was like a chip shot in golf almost.
Yeah, that was the chip shot. You know, if it was Ranghieri's old partner, Adrian Karambula, you would call that almost a sky ball as he goes underneath that one, chips that one, a pure thumb up as the pure thumb is straight up to get that one up and over. So far, it's the only thing it's found success against Saxton and O'Gorman, but unable to find success on the defensive end.
Well, O'Gorman's hitting it pretty darn hard right now, so he crushed that one, and it's another point for Canada. 19-13 is the score. 2 points away from booking their spot in tomorrow's gold medal match.
Yeah, Grant O'Gorman known for swinging hard, even in his club days. As another cheeky chip shot there by Caminati is... Oh, sorry, it was Caminati.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, balls on his opposite shoulder. The sideways roll, as here's Ranghieri now. Gonna try to work some magic from the baseline.
Just caught the tape, and that slowed it up, actually, for O'Gorman to be able to play it. Another point for Canada. We have reached match point.
As our crowd around us stands up. And a cheer on their hometown boys here, leading 20-14. They have 6 opportunities, and we got the sky ball. Is it gonna make it? No, it doesn't. That's a Kids Beach classic right there. Sky ball for match point. I know there's a few fans from Vancouver who are cheering loudly in their living rooms.
There's probably a few people who've seen the beach game for the first time here in Edmonton going, what the heck is he doing? Why is he just wasting a point like that? But
when you're so sky balls, you're hitting that ball as high as you can with as much spin as possible, and it's really, really difficult to judge the spin on a ball like that when you're the defender.
So another match point opportunity for Canada. O'Gorman goes up. Oh, what a block.
And you know, we talked a little bit about how Ranghieri is one of the best blockers in the world. We haven't seen it much this match, but that is a perfect opportunity. You're going to see he loads, presses over, and just full pike. And that's kind of somewhere where Grant maybe gets a little overconfident and tries to swing a little too low and too hard as Ben puts that one long. We're going to see if, Ben Saxton is going to call that timeout, just settle things down. They still have, 3 more opportunities to take this match. And you just got to take a breather. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Get back to basics. As both of those plays, first we see Grant try to muscle that one through low, through Ranghieri. You're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
And then afterwards, not the greatest of pass from Saxton, not the greatest of sets from Grant, and he puts that one long. So just going to settle things down here, take a bit of a breather. They're not even saying anything to each other because there's nothing to be said, right? All you got to do is get the job done here, take a quick breather, take a sip of water, go back out, win that match, and go play for a gold medal tomorrow.
20-17 is the score as Team Canada calls the timeout. Now they're ready to get back on the sand. Two teams will give each other nice high fives as they go back to their respective sides. Marco Caminati, pretty decent run so far from the service line to keep his team in this match. We'll see what he has coming out of a timeout.
Not the greatest pass there from O'Gorman.
Readjust, blocked by Ranghieri. Takes it second time. A little reverse over the head pokey there.
The
sure
back
has a name, but
the onto back pokey. There's a lot of names to that one as he incorporating, but we see there once again a good recycle because he's not hitting that ball with any intent. He's not hitting it with any spin. He's not hitting it. He's trying to recycle that one. It goes right to Saxton. Saxton puts him up, and I'm pretty sure he was expecting the set there, but Grant O'Gorman just goes right hand. In indoor, we'd call that one the setter's dumper. You put it over your shoulder. You can't dump it in volleyball as there's no in beach volleyball as there's no open hand tips, but you got to hit it with your knuckles, and that's exactly what he does over the shoulder to close that one out, and they are in the finals tomorrow.
They will be taking on the Swiss pair of Beeler and Kradiger, and that should be very exciting. I know it's a little bit early, but what are you seeing from that? You have the team that just looked unstoppable in this match, the two Canadians, against a Swiss side that was really resilient against an American pair and then just ran away with things.
You know what? For Beeler and Kradiger, this is going to be their best result no matter what, so they have no pressure on them. They're going up against the home team. At the end of the day, it's their best result, so that's a very dangerous position for a team like Switzerland to be in. They're playing real well